Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Today, I want to talk about something that touches each of us on a deeply personal level. It's a phrase that gets thrown around a lot, being our best. But what does that really mean? And more importantly, what does it feel like to live in what I'll call our best mode? To be in our best mode, first, we must be willing to be vulnerable. Vulnerability doesn't mean we have all the answers or we're fearless. Quite the opposite. It means showing up as we are, imperfections and all, and saying, this is me. When we let go of trying to appear strong and start being real, we make room for authentic courage. That courage invites others in, helping us connect on a meaningful level. Living in our best mode also asks us to define success on our own terms. Society loves to hand us checklists, get this job, live in that neighborhood, be seen in these circles. But real success is not about looking good to others. It's about aligning with our values, knowing we're on the right path, even if it looks different from anyone else's. Our best mode reflects who we truly are, not who we think we're supposed to be. Another key piece of living in this mode is practicing self-compassion. Because the truth is, we're all going to stumble. The moments when we feel like we've missed the mark or failed, that's when self-compassion matters most. It's not about giving ourselves a free pass. It's about giving ourselves grace. If we can extend the same kindness to ourselves that we so freely give to others, we can pick ourselves up and keep moving forward. Best mode also means resilience, the kind that keeps us grounded and strong when life tests us. Resilience doesn't mean we're unfazed by difficulty. It means we're capable of adapting, of growing in response to the tough stuff life throws our way. We get knocked down, yes, but we also get back up. To truly be in our best mode, we need relationships that lift us up, connections where we feel seen, valued, and encouraged. This isn't just about having people around us, it's about being known. Deep, genuine connection fuels us. When we have people in our lives who really see us, they remind us that we're not alone. They challenge us to be better. And they support us every step of the way. Stepping into our best mode takes courage, not comfort. We don't become our best selves by sticking to what's easy. We get there by choosing paths that challenge us, by speaking up when it matters, by being brave enough to make choices that stretch us. Embracing vulnerability as a strength means allowing ourselves to be seen, flaws and all, without hiding behind a facade of perfection. It requires an openness to the possibility of failure, rejection, or disappointment, knowing these are the risks of showing up authentically. Vulnerability is not a weakness, though society often tells us otherwise. In truth, it takes courage to be vulnerable because it involves stepping into the unknown where we cannot predict or control the outcome. When we are vulnerable, we allow ourselves to connect with others on a deeper, more genuine level. It's easy to build walls to protect ourselves from hurt or judgment, but these walls also keep out joy, connection, and the sense of belonging we crave. Vulnerability allows us to bridge that gap, fostering trust and intimacy by showing others our true selves. When we let down our guard, we invite others to do the same, creating a space where we can relate to each other's experiences, struggles, and dreams. Embracing vulnerability means accepting that we don't have all the answers and that we're not immune to challenges. It's about admitting when we're uncertain, asking for help when we need it, and sharing our struggles without shame. In a world that celebrates confidence and certainty, choosing to be vulnerable is a quiet act of bravery. It's saying, I am enough even when I am uncertain. Through this acceptance, we grow. Vulnerability teaches us resilience by helping us face our fears head on instead of hiding from them. It's through vulnerability that we can learn to trust ourselves more deeply. By confronting our fears and sharing our true selves, we build an inner strength that isn't shaken by external judgments or setbacks. We stop looking for validation outside of ourselves, finding a grounded confidence in knowing that we are worthy just as we are. Embracing vulnerability also nurtures empathy, as it helps us recognize and appreciate the courage it takes for others to show up authentically. Defining success for yourself means stepping away from society's often rigid and one-size-fits-all approach to achievement. It's about asking yourself what truly matters and building a vision that aligns with your values, aspirations, and unique strengths. Too often, we absorb external markers of success, career titles, income levels, physical appearances, and social status. While these things can be meaningful in some ways, they don't necessarily reflect who we are or what fulfills us. When we define success on our terms, we move away from living according to other people's expectations and start living in a way that feels right for us. Creating a personal definition of success means taking a hard look at what brings us joy and fulfillment. It's about identifying what we're passionate about, the relationships that nourish us, the goals that excite us, and the ways we want to make an impact. Success can be as simple as having time for family, feeling a sense of purpose in your work, contributing to your community, or continually growing as a person. These elements of success don't always come with a title, a trophy, or a paycheck, but they add to the quality and richness of our lives in profound ways. Defining success for ourselves also means acknowledging that our journey may look very different from anyone else's. It's easy to compare ourselves to others, to wonder if we're measuring up. But true success isn't about outshining someone else, it's about knowing we're on a path that's right for us. It takes courage to let go of the need to be the best and instead focus on being the best version of ourselves. By setting goals that reflect who we are rather than who we're supposed to be, we find satisfaction in the journey itself, not just in reaching the destination. When we define success for ourselves, we give ourselves permission to prioritize what matters most to us, even if it doesn't make sense to others. This might mean taking a different career path, setting boundaries to protect our time and energy, or focusing on our personal growth rather than constant productivity. In doing so, we begin to see that success is not a single achievement or a finish line. It's a lifelong process of evolving, learning, and living in alignment with our true selves. This process of redefining success requires self-reflection and honesty, as well as a willingness to let go of the need for external validation. It's about tuning into our own needs and desires, trusting our intuition, and finding satisfaction in our progress. By defining success in our own way, we build a life that feels meaningful and authentic, guided by our inner compass rather than by society's standards. We cultivate resilience and fulfillment, and we allow ourselves the freedom to grow and redefine success as we change, adapting to our journey over time. Practicing self-compassion means treating ourselves with the same kindness, care, and understanding that we'd readily offer to a close friend. It's a conscious choice to extend grace to ourselves, especially in moments when we feel inadequate, fail, or face hardship. Rather than harshly judging ourselves for our perceived flaws or mistakes, self-compassion invites us to recognize that we are human, imperfect, but deserving of love and understanding. It's about creating a safe inner space where we can acknowledge our struggles without shame, encouraging growth rather than self-criticism. Self-compassion begins with self-acceptance. It's the ability to embrace ourselves as we are, rather than constantly striving to be a perfect or ideal version. Often, we're quick to criticize ourselves, setting impossibly high standards and feeling disappointed when we don't measure up. Self-compassion invites us to pause and recognize that these standards are often unrealistic and even harmful. Instead of feeling frustrated or disheartened when we fall short, self-compassion allows us to view setbacks as natural parts of the journey. By acknowledging that everyone experiences difficulty, we feel less alone in our struggles, recognizing that imperfection is part of the shared human experience. Practicing self-compassion also involves being present with our pain rather than running from it. It's about allowing ourselves to feel hurt, disappointment, or anger without judgment or suppression. When we avoid these feelings, we often reinforce them, leaving us stuck in cycles of self-doubt or frustration. But when we approach these emotions with compassion, we give ourselves permission to feel, to process, and to heal. Self-compassion teaches us that it's okay to have hard days, to be gentle with ourselves, and to allow healing to happen at its own pace. Additionally, self-compassion encourages resilience by helping us bounce back from difficulties. When we criticize ourselves, we often become discouraged and fearful of taking risks, shrinking from the possibilities of failure or rejection. But when we practice self-compassion, we create a nurturing inner environment where it's okay to try, to make mistakes, and to keep learning. We start to view failure not as a reflection of our worth, but as an opportunity for growth. This shift in perspective allows us to embrace challenges with a mindset that is both resilient and forgiving, understanding that setbacks don't define us, they are simply part of the learning process. Practicing self-compassion also helps us manage our inner dialogue. It's easy to fall into patterns of negative self-talk, repeating stories that reinforce our insecurities and diminish our self-worth. Self-compassion invites us to question these stories, challenging the voice that says we're not good enough or not capable. By consciously choosing kinder, more constructive words, we reshape our inner narrative into one of support, acceptance, and encouragement. This change empowers us to approach life with greater confidence, rooted in a belief that we are worthy and capable despite our imperfections. Through self-compassion, we begin to cultivate a profound sense of peace and acceptance. We stop looking outward for validation, recognizing that true validation comes from within. This inner acceptance doesn't mean we give up on growth or improvement. It simply means that we no longer base our worth on our achievements or failures. Self-compassion fosters a balanced, gentle approach to the balance to life where we can strive toward our goals while honoring our own humanity. It enables us to live more fully and courageously, knowing that our worth isn't tied to how we perform or what we accomplish, but to who we are. Cultivating resilience is about developing the inner strength to face adversity with courage and determination. It's the ability to adapt, to pick ourselves up after setbacks, and to keep moving forward, even when the path is challenging. Resilience doesn't mean we're immune to pain or disappointment. It means we're able to recover, to learn, and to grow stronger from our experiences. Building resilience requires us to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than seeing them as obstacles that hold us back. It's a mindset shift that transforms difficulty into a stepping stone toward greater wisdom, strength, and self-awareness. One of the core aspects of resilience is adaptability. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and resilience is what helps us stay flexible and open to change. It's about letting go of rigid expectations and trusting our ability to handle whatever comes our way. Adaptability allows us to navigate the unknown with a sense of possibility, finding new paths forward when old ones no longer serve us. Through resilience, we learn that change, though often uncomfortable, is also a gateway to new perspectives and possibilities. Instead of resisting, we become curious, understanding that growth often happens in the moments when we stretch beyond what's familiar. Resilience also requires self-awareness and emotional regulation. To be resilient, we must be able to recognize and process our emotions without becoming overwhelmed or paralyzed by them. This doesn't mean suppressing our feelings. It means understanding them, accepting them, and then choosing how to respond. Resilient people don't avoid their emotions. They confront them with compassion and mindfulness, allowing themselves to feel, but not allowing those feelings to dictate their actions. This emotional resilience enables us to face hardship without losing hope or losing ourselves in the process. Another key element of resilience is cultivating a sense of purpose and meaning. When we know what matters most to us, it becomes easier to stay grounded, even in times of turmoil. Purpose acts as an anchor, reminding us why we're here and what we're working toward. It provides a source of motivation, helping us keep our eyes on the bigger picture rather than getting lost in the immediate challenges. A sense of purpose can be found in our relationships, our work, our personal goals, or our contributions to the community. By connecting to what is meaningful, we build a foundation of resilience that supports us through life's ups and downs. Building resilience also involves nurturing supportive relationships. While resilience is an inner strength, it's often bolstered by the connections we have with others. Trusted friends, family, and mentors provide a network of support, encouragement, and perspective. When we're facing challenges, these relationships remind us that we're not alone and that there are people who believe in us and stand by us. Resilience doesn't mean we have to go it alone. It means knowing when to lean on others and allowing ourselves to be supported. This connection to others gives us the strength to carry on, knowing that we're part of something bigger than ourselves. Practicing gratitude is another tool for building resilience. By recognizing and appreciating what we have, even during difficult times, we cultivate a mindset of abundance and hope. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, helping us see the positives amidst the challenges. It's not about ignoring hardship, it's about acknowledging the blessings that coexist with it. Gratitude strengthens resilience by keeping us grounded in the present moment, allowing us to face adversity with a balanced perspective and a sense of possibility. Resilience is a skill we can strengthen through practice and intention. Each time we face a setback and choose to get back up, we build resilience. Each time we encounter difficulty and learn from it, rather than letting it defeat us, we cultivate resilience. It's a process that takes time, patience, and self-compassion. We become resilient not by avoiding hardship, but by moving through it, by finding meaning in the struggle, and by trusting in our ability to overcome. Resilience is the quiet courage to keep going, to believe in ourselves, and to know that whatever comes our way, we have the strength to meet it. Prioritizing connection means valuing and nurturing our relationships with others as an essential part of a fulfilling life. It's the understanding that genuine, meaningful connections give us a sense of belonging, a foundation of support, and a place where we feel seen and valued. When we prioritize connection, we invest time and energy into the relationships that matter most, choosing to engage deeply rather than just skimming the surface. It's a conscious decision to show up fully, to listen with empathy, and to create spaces where others feel comfortable being their true selves. Building strong connections requires vulnerability and authenticity. When we allow ourselves to be seen as we are, without masks or pretenses, we invite others to do the same. This openness creates trust, the bedrock of any meaningful relationship. By sharing our own experiences, struggles, and dreams, we make room for genuine connection, where both people feel understood and valued. Prioritizing connection means resisting the urge to go it alone, and instead embracing the strength that comes from interdependence, knowing that we don't have to have all the answers on our own. Connection also means being present. In a world filled with distractions, truly being with someone, setting aside our devices, worries, and to-do lists can be rare. But by giving our full attention, we show that we respect and value the other person. Presence is a gift, a way of saying, I'm here with you, fully engaged through this mindful attention. We create a deeper bond, one that allows us to understand each other's needs, emotions, and perspectives. This kind of presence fosters intimacy, empathy, and a sense of closeness that transcends the small talk of everyday life. Prioritizing connection also involves active listening. This means not just hearing the words spoken, but understanding the emotions and intentions behind them. When we listen with curiosity and without judgment, we create an environment where people feel safe sharing their truths. Active listening is about setting aside our own thoughts and responses to fully absorb what the other person is saying. It shows respect, empathy, and a genuine interest in the other person's experience. Through active listening, we deepen our relationships and reinforce the trust that is essential to meaningful connection. Prioritizing connection means embracing empathy and compassion. Life is full of challenges, and when we approach others with compassion, we acknowledge their struggles without trying to fix or change them. Empathy is the ability to see the world through another person's eyes, to feel what they feel and understand their perspective. When we practice empathy, we connect with others on a deeper level, showing them that they are not alone. Compassion adds an extra layer, encouraging us to be there for others, not just in words, but in actions. Whether it's offering a helping hand, a listening ear, or simply our presence, compassion strengthens the bonds that hold us together. Prioritizing connection requires that we create space for both joy and vulnerability. Life is made up of highs and lows, and our relationships should be places where we feel free to share both. Celebrating each other's successes and being there for each other's challenges creates a balance that keeps relationships strong. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable in front of others, sharing our fears, uncertainties, and dreams, we create a foundation of trust and authenticity. These moments of vulnerability are often where the deepest connections are formed, as they reveal the parts of ourselves that are most real and human. Prioritizing connection also means investing in community. While close one-on-one relationships are deeply meaningful, connecting with a broader community gives us a sense of belonging to something larger than ourselves. Community offers a support system, a shared purpose, and a network of people who share our experiences. By engaging with our communities, we extend our circle of connection, gaining a sense of rootedness and shared identity. Whether it's through volunteer work, joining a group, or simply getting to know our neighbors, connecting with our community provides us with a source of purpose and support that enhances our well-being. When we prioritize connection, we're choosing to value relationships over busyness or productivity. It's about recognizing that the time spent with others, whether through shared meals, conversations, or simple acts of kindness, is never wasted. Connection enriches our lives in a way that accomplishments and material success cannot. It grounds us, gives us purpose, and reminds us of our shared humanity. By making time for others, we build a foundation of support that sustains us through life's challenges, creating a life that feels meaningful, fulfilling, and whole. Choosing courage over comfort means embracing the unknown, stepping into situations that may be uncomfortable or challenging because they align with our values, goals, or personal growth. It's about prioritizing what is right and meaningful over what is easy or familiar, acknowledging that true growth rarely happens within our comfort zones. When we choose courage, we allow ourselves to experience vulnerability, risking failure, judgment, or rejection. But we do so because we know that taking these risks is necessary to live authentically and fully. Courage requires us to face our fears directly. Fear is a natural response when we're about to step outside of our comfort zone, but choosing courage means not letting fear dictate our choices. Instead of shrinking back from what scares us, we acknowledge the fear, understand it, and then move forward anyway. This doesn't mean we become fearless, rather it means we learn to act in spite of fear. By facing what we're afraid of, we develop resilience and inner strength, gaining confidence in our ability to handle uncertainty and adversity. Choosing courage over comfort also involves standing up for our beliefs, even when it's difficult. It's about staying true to our values and speaking up for what we believe in, even if it means going against the crowd. This kind of courage requires integrity and a deep commitment to authenticity, as it often means risking disapproval or conflict. Yet, when we act in alignment with our principles, we build a sense of self-respect and empowerment that can't be shaken by external opinions. In choosing courage, we become more rooted in who we are, knowing that we are living in a way that honors our truth. Courage over comfort often requires us to be vulnerable, to be willing to put ourselves out there without guarantees of success or acceptance. Vulnerability is not a weakness, but a powerful strength, as it allows us to connect more deeply with others and to pursue what matters most to us. When we open ourselves up, even at the risk of getting hurt, we create opportunities for growth, for learning, and for meaningful connection. Choosing vulnerability takes bravery, but it enriches our lives in ways that comfort never could, allowing us to live with greater authenticity and purpose. Another dimension of choosing courage over comfort is the willingness to embrace change. Change can be daunting as it disrupts the familiar and requires us to adapt. Yet growth is impossible without change, and choosing courage means welcoming new possibilities even when they're uncomfortable. By being open to change, we allow ourselves to explore new paths, expand our perspectives, and learn from new experiences. It's through this openness that we discover parts of ourselves we may not have known existed, gaining a deeper understanding of our strengths, passions, and potential. Choosing courage over comfort also means embracing the possibility of failure. Failure is often seen as something to be avoided, but in reality, it's a vital part of any journey toward growth or success. When we choose courage, we understand that failure isn't a reflection of our worth or ability. It's simply a stepping stone toward improvement. Every setback, mistake, or failure is an opportunity to learn, to refine our approach, and to build resilience. By choosing courage, we develop a growth mindset, seeing each challenge as an invitation to grow rather than a reason to retreat. Choosing courage over comfort also means setting boundaries, even when it's hard. Sometimes courage looks like saying no to things that drain us or don't align with our values. Setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable, especially if we're worried about disappointing others, but it's a necessary act of self-respect. When we choose courage in this way, we prioritize our well-being, ensuring that we have the energy and focus for what truly matters. By honoring our limits and needs, we cultivate a stronger sense of self-worth and reinforce the idea that our time and energy are valuable. Ultimately, choosing courage over comfort is about choosing a path of growth, authenticity, and integrity. It's a commitment to living a life that feels true, even if it sometimes means facing discomfort, uncertainty, or challenge. Through each courageous choice, we build the strength and confidence to continue growing, knowing that every step we take outside our comfort zone brings us closer to the life we're meant to lead. Leading with integrity means being true to one's values, principles, and ethics, even in the face of challenges or pressure. It's about setting a standard of honesty and transparency that guides not only our decisions, but also our interactions with others. When we lead with integrity, we foster an environment of trust, where people feel safe to express themselves and share their ideas. This foundation of trust is crucial for any team or organization, as it encourages collaboration and open communication, allowing for authentic relationships to flourish. Integrity requires consistency between our words and actions. It's not enough to simply profess certain values. We must embody them in our daily lives. This means holding ourselves accountable, following through on commitments, and being honest about our intentions. When we demonstrate integrity in our actions, we become role models for others, inspiring them to align their behaviors with their own values. This creates a culture where integrity is not just expected but celebrated, encouraging everyone to contribute to a shared vision of ethical conduct. Leading with integrity also means making difficult choices based on our principles rather than on convenience or self-interest. It involves being willing to stand up for what is right, even when it's unpopular or risky. This can be particularly challenging in environments where the pressure to conform or to prioritize short-term gains is high. However, true leadership is about looking beyond immediate outcomes and considering the long-term impact of our decisions on others and on the greater community. By prioritizing ethical considerations, we build a legacy of respect and responsibility that resonates far beyond our individual roles. Another essential aspect of leading with integrity is the importance of transparency. Being open and honest about our decision-making processes fosters trust and encourages others to do the same. When we communicate clearly and share our rationale, we demystify our choices and help others understand the values that guide us. This transparency not only strengthens relationships, but also empowers others to take ownership of their contributions. In an environment where transparency is valued, individuals feel more engaged and motivated, knowing that their voices are heard and respected. Leading with integrity also involves actively listening to others, valuing their input, and being willing to adapt when necessary. This openness demonstrates respect and humility, acknowledging that we do not have all the answers. By encouraging feedback and being receptive to different perspectives, we create an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued. This collaborative approach to leadership not only enhances decision-making, but also cultivates a culture of shared ownership and responsibility. Furthermore, integrity requires us to be courageous in our leadership. It often takes bravery to speak up against injustice, to advocate for ethical practices, or to make decisions that may not be popular. This courage is rooted in a commitment to our values and an understanding that our actions can influence others. When we lead with courage, we inspire those around us to do the same, creating a ripple effect that fosters a culture of accountability and integrity. Leading with integrity also includes recognizing and addressing our own shortcomings. We are all human, and mistakes are an inevitable part of the journey. However, how we respond to those mistakes speaks volumes about our character. Owning up to our errors, learning from them, and taking steps to make amends shows that we are committed to personal growth and accountability. This humility not only strengthens our credibility, but also encourages others to embrace a growth mindset, reinforcing the idea that integrity involves continuous learning and self-improvement. Moreover, integrity extends beyond our immediate circles. It involves considering the broader impact of our actions on our communities and society at large. When we lead with integrity, we acknowledge our responsibility to contribute positively to the world around us. This can involve advocating for social justice, supporting sustainable practices, or engaging in community service. By aligning our leadership with a commitment to the greater good, we not only enhance our own integrity, but also inspire others to think beyond themselves and contribute to a better world. Ultimately, leading with integrity is about cultivating a culture of respect, trust, and accountability. It's about fostering an environment where individuals feel empowered to act ethically, to voice their opinions, and to contribute their unique perspective. When we lead with integrity, we create a legacy that reflects our commitment to values that transcend individual interests, shaping a more ethical and compassionate world for future generations. Through integrity, we not only enhance our own leadership effectiveness, but also empower those around us to lead with purpose and conviction. Celebrating progress over perfection means recognizing and valuing the journey of growth and development rather than fixating on an unattainable ideal. It's about understanding that progress is a series of small steps, setbacks, and victories, each contributing to our overall growth. In a world that often glorifies perfection and achievement, choosing to celebrate progress allows us to cultivate a healthier, more realistic perspective on success. This mindset shift fosters resilience, encourages ongoing effort, and helps us appreciate the value of the learning process. When we celebrate progress, we acknowledge that every small step forward is significant. Whether it's mastering a new skill, overcoming a personal challenge, or simply making an effort to improve, these moments are worthy of recognition. This celebration fosters a sense of accomplishment, reinforcing the belief that effort and perseverance matter. By focusing on progress, we create a culture where incremental improvements are valued, encouraging individuals to take risks, try new things, and embrace the learning process without the fear of failure. Furthermore, celebrating progress helps to combat the fear of failure that often holds us back. When we equate success solely with perfection, we may hesitate to take risks or to step outside our comfort zones. Perfectionism can lead to paralysis as we become so focused on getting everything right that we avoid trying altogether. By shifting our focus to progress, we give ourselves permission to make mistakes and learn from them. This mindset encourages a willingness to experiment, to innovate, and to explore new ideas without the pressure of having to achieve perfect results every time. In addition, celebrating progress fosters a growth mindset. This concept, popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, emphasizes the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. When we recognize and celebrate our progress, we reinforce the idea that growth is an ongoing journey rather than a destination. This perspective encourages individuals to embrace challenges as opportunities for learning and development. Rather than seeing setbacks as failures, we begin to view them as integral parts of our growth, leading to greater resilience and determination. Another key aspect of celebrating progress over perfection is the importance of self-compassion. Perfectionism often comes hand in hand with harsh self-criticism, leading to feelings of inadequacy and disappointment. When we prioritize progress, we cultivate a kinder relationship with ourselves, recognizing that we are all works in progress. This self-compassion allows us to acknowledge our efforts without being overly critical of our shortcomings. By celebrating our progress, we remind ourselves that growth takes time and that it's okay to be imperfect along the way. Moreover, celebrating progress promotes collaboration and community. When we focus on individual achievements within a group context, we create an environment where everyone feels valued for their contributions, no matter how small. This inclusive approach fosters teamwork and camaraderie, encouraging individuals to support and uplift one another. When progress is celebrated collectively, it strengthens the bonds within a team, creating a culture of shared accountability and encouragement. In the context of leadership, celebrating progress is essential for motivating and engaging teams. Leaders who recognize and appreciate the incremental steps taken by their team members foster a positive and productive work environment. By highlighting progress, leaders create a culture where employees feel valued and motivated to continue striving for improvement. This recognition can be as simple as acknowledging a team member's effort during a meeting or providing constructive feedback that focuses on their growth rather than solely on outcomes. Additionally, celebrating progress can enhance creativity and innovation. When individuals feel safe to experiment and take risks without the pressure of achieving perfection, they are more likely to think outside the box and explore new ideas. This openness to experimentation can lead to unexpected breakthroughs and solutions that might not have emerged in a more perfectionistic environment. By celebrating progress, we encourage a culture of creativity that thrives on exploration and discovery, allowing teams and individuals to tap into their full potential. Lastly, celebrating progress encourages a sense of gratitude. When we take the time to acknowledge how far we've come, we develop an appreciation for our efforts and experiences. This gratitude can shift our focus from what we lack to what we have achieved, fostering a more positive mindset. Recognizing our progress helps us to remain motivated, reinforcing the idea that every effort counts and contributes to our overall journey. Ultimately, celebrating progress over perfection is a powerful approach to growth, development, and well-being. By embracing the journey, valuing incremental improvements, and cultivating a culture of self-compassion, we create an environment where individuals feel empowered to strive for excellence without the burden of unrealistic expectations. This mindset fosters resilience, creativity, and collaboration, allowing us to flourish in our pursuits and live more fulfilling, authentic lives. Celebrating progress over perfection encourages a mindset focused on growth rather than unattainable ideals. It emphasizes recognizing the significance of small steps and incremental achievements, fostering a sense of accomplishment. This approach helps combat the fear of failure, allowing individuals to embrace risks and learn from their experiences without the paralyzing pressure of perfectionism. By cultivating self-compassion, we acknowledge our efforts and treat ourselves with kindness, promoting resilience and a healthier relationship with success. Celebrating progress also strengthens community and collaboration, creating an environment where individuals feel valued for their contributions, fostering teamwork and support. In leadership, recognizing progress boosts motivation, engagement, driving a positive work culture. Moreover, it nurtures creativity, encouraging innovative thinking when individuals feel safe to experiment without fear of failing. Ultimately, celebrating progress over perfection empowers us to appreciate our journeys, fostering a more fulfilling and authentic life as we strive toward our goals.